What's going on? Baron here with the Blue Dragon Guild, a channel all about 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. In last week's episode, Mackenzie and I covered the races of the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount book. And in this week's video, we will be continuing that on with the subclasses that were introduced in the book. So let's get started. Now we're going to take a look at the new subclasses that were introduced in this. There are 3 new subclasses, 1 for the fighter and 2 for the wizard. The first up is the fighter, and there's a lot of people really excited about this. This is the Echo Knight. At 3rd level, whenever you get your fighter archetype, you get Manifest Echo. You can use a bonus action to magically manifest an echo of yourself in an unoccupied space you can see within 15 feet of you. This echo is a magical, translucent gray image of you that lasts until it is destroyed or until you dismiss it as a bonus action, or until you manifest another echo or you're incapacitated. Your echo has AC 14 plus your proficiency bonus, 1 hit point, and immunity to all conditions. If it has to make a saving throw, it uses your saving throws uses your saving throw bonus for the roll. Same size as you, occupies the same space, and it can move up to 30 feet in any direction, no action required. If the echo is ever more than 30 feet from you at the end of your turn, it's destroyed.
Let's just talk about that for a minute before we go down here, I guess. So, I like the Echo Knight. I think that's really cool to have almost like a shadow doing fighting with you. I think it's been very good. We've had a lot of people in discussion as soon as this book came out. A lot of people were saying to mix fighter with rogue to get the ability to sneak attack with it automatically. I think you showed me some tweet or post from somebody online that said, hey, this isn't how this works.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly who it was. But basically, because it's not a creature, it's a magical effect, you can't use the echo to get
as your friendly ally.
Yeah.
So that's something to really check out. Because, I mean, if you want to have the echo there and somebody's near that guy and you're over here near this guy and you use, the ability we're going to talk about here in a minute that as a bonus action you can switch places with them, that would work. Yeah. But it couldn't just be like, hey, it's me and my echo fighter. Oh, sneak attack for all.
Yeah. You really have to look at the way it's worded, and it doesn't say that it's like a friendly creature. It's a magical effect. But
yeah, it goes with that bonus action we're saying. You can teleport magically, swapping places with the echo. It costs 15 feet of your movement, regardless of the direction or distance between you two.
Yeah. So that's really cool because,
good.
If you're multi-class with rogue, you can just flip, you can switch you and your echo, you can get right in there, and, well, it's a bonus action, so you don't get 2 bonus actions.
Right.
Unless you action surge.
That's right.
Yeah. I still don't think that's right. But we're leaving it as it is, because I said it. When you take the attack action on your turn, any attack you make with that action can originate from your space or the echo space. You make this choice for each attack.
That's pretty cool.
So if your echo's, fighting a guy on the other side of the room, you can attack and hit that. You can spread out the damage a little bit, which I think, as a lot of the things that we've experienced in our games, you don't want to spread the damage out too much, because then, it's like, well, none of these people are dead and we're 10 rounds into combat. Well, why are none of these people dead? Well, because we're each attacking different ones.
Right, so you just kind of clear it out. The less chances they have to go to attack, the less damage overall you think would be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love the AC, because a lot of them is just like AC 10, AC 8, but this is like AC 14 plus your proficiency bonus.
Yeah. Which means it does have 1 hit point, which makes sense. But, still, it'll have a 9. If you're at level 20, it'll have a 19, so.
Right, you're like, hey, it's fine. Yeah. Just throw a shield at it. No.
All right. And And the last little bullet point it has there, when a creature that you can see within 5 feet of your echo moves at least 5 feet away from it, you can use your reaction to make an opportunity attack against that creature as if you were in the echo space. So imagine pairing that with the sentinel feat. I mean, they're stopping. They're not going.
They're done. I mean, I like Fighter a lot, and everybody knows how much I love Battle Master. I had to play this. I had to see it because it's just.
I agree.
Seems so good.
I agree. I think this is going to be. I think this is going to be the new big thing. Which, I mean, like we said, everybody's talking about this. So I think a lot of people are realizing how fun this is. And at level 3, it gets another ability, Unleash Incarnation. You can heighten your Echo's fury whenever you take the attack action. You can make one additional melee attack from the Echo's position. So, I mean, pretty much, you and your Echo are going to be fighting everything. So
Right. You can only use this feature a number of times equal to your con modifier before you rest. But, I mean, that's still insane.
Yeah.
Whenever you take the attack action, your Echo can do the same thing. So if you have... What level? I don't know off the top of my head what level you get extra attack. I think it's 5.
Level 5, yeah.
So by then it's like, okay, well, attack. If you only use it for your modifier, which most of the time be 4. But in a big fight and there's 2 of you out there, basically, it's insane.
I mean, you've got it. Pretty much, it puts an extra source of damage on the field for you.
Right.
So, and like you said, in a big fight, I mean, that's really going to be helpful.
At level 7, it gets Echo Avatar. You can temporarily transfer your consciousness to your Echo. As an action, you can see through your Echo's eyes and hear through their ears. During this time, you are deaf and blinded. You can sustain the effects for up to 10 minutes, and you can into any time requires no action. While your Echo is being used this way, it can be up to 1,000 feet from you without being destroyed.
This is really cool. This is basically...
So just go.
It's a souped-up fine familiar.
Yeah.
That's really fun. There's a lot of different stuff you can do with that. I mean, we need you to scout ahead. Okay.
Go way up.
He goes. He runs through all the traps, and he's like, all right, I know where all the traps are. Let's do this. Right. I mean, there's a lot of... There's a lot of really good potential with this right here.
I know normally it says, if they end their turn 30 feet away from you at the end of your turn. So, is there a possibility that this thing's 900 feet away, your turn starts, you use your thing to make an attack at nothing, but you use it as your Echo?
Well...
Or can you teleport to your Echo?
No, because it has to be within 15 feet, I think.
No, it only takes 15 feet of your movement.
Oh, it says regardless of the distance between you. Oh.
My goodness.
Yeah, I think you're correct there.
Your Echo could be 900 feet away, and you just go, I'm going to fight this. Boom, and you're there.
I'll see you guys in a minute.
Yeah. See you there.
At level 10, you get Shadow Martyr. You can make your Echo throw itself in front of an attack directed at another creature that you can see. Before the attack roll is made, you can use your reaction to teleport the Echo to an unoccupied space within 5 feet of the targeted creature. The attack roll that triggered the reaction is instead made against your Echo. Can't use it again until you complete a short or a long rest. This is a really cool, protective kind of thing. It's like, oh man, the wizard who's over there concentrating on a spell is about to get got. Switch, and the Echo Knight absorbs it, and he goes away because that's he has 1 hit point, but it saves your wizard and saves that concentration spell.
But I mean, it's a bonus action. You can just magically manifest another one.
Yeah, absolutely.
God, man, it doesn't even make you do it. It lets you do it any amount of times you want. Like I was reading for 4 times a day. No, it don't care. Every fight. 3 times every fight. Who cares?
That's fun.
This is
really good.
This is much better the more and more I'm reading this.
I know, right?
Oh my goodness.
Level 15, you get Reclaim Reclaim Potential. You've learned to absorb the fleeting magic of your echo. When an echo of yours is destroyed by taking damage, you can gain a number of hit points equal to 2d6 plus your con mod, provided you don't already have temporary hit points. You can use the feature a number of times equal to your con mod, minimum of once, to regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. And the 18th level feature you get is Legion of One. You can use a bonus action to create 2 echoes with your Manifest Echo feature, and these echoes can coexist. If you try to create a 3rd echo, the previous 2 echoes are destroyed. Anything you can do from one echo's position can be done from the others instead. In addition, when you roll initiative and have no uses of your Unleash Incarnation feature left, you regain 1 use of that feature. This is really, really good because, it gives you those 2 echoes. And you got to think, you're level 18 at this point, so you're pretty far along. You're high up there, so there's a lot of stuff that you'll be dealing with. It's that 2 echoes will be good for. So overall, I think our general consensus is Echo Knight. Phenomenal. And with that brings us to the 2 subclasses of the wizard. There is Chronergy Magic and Graviturgy Magic. Chronergy Magic is the focus on the manipulation of time. There's some cool stuff in this one.
I did like this one too.
There's a lot of stuff I think some people might think is broken, but if you look at it, it can hinder you in the long run. So it balances out. The ability you get at 2nd level is called Chronal Shift. You can magically exert limited control over the flow of time around a creature. As a reaction, after you or a creature you can see within 30 feet of you makes an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can force the creature to re-roll. You make this decision after you see whether the roll succeeds or fails.
That's the big change.
The target must use the result of the 2nd roll. You can use this ability twice, and you regain any expended uses when you finish a long rest. So twice a day, and
change it.
Push come to shove and you have to use it, you can. It doesn't hinder you in any way doing this, but you only get it twice, so you got to really think about, do I want to waste, quote unquote, do I want to use this on this roll right here? Well, if not, so-and-so is going to die.
The one thing I find insane is that you do it after you see the roll. Normally it's always like, I want to do this before, or I'm going to do this, don't tell me what the answer is yet, or what you rolled, and we'll do this.
Yeah.
This one's not that way.
Mm-mm. With the theme of the subclass, it's, you're manipulating time, so it makes sense, being able to see it after. But like you said, it's crazy because normally you don't have that option.
Yeah. The other one also gets at 2nd level is Temporal Awareness. You add your Intelligence modifier to your initiative rolls on top of your dex. So it can really let him go first. More of that messing with time and always going, supposedly first in the order. I don't know this because I know all the other classes you get your thing at 3rd level. I never really played a wizard. Is it 2nd or is this just on top of it?
You get it at 2nd level.
Okay. I thought as much because I realized the gravity wizard was too.
Yeah. At 6th level, you get the ability Momentary Stasis. As an action, you can magically force a large or smaller creature you can see within 60 feet of you to make a con saving throw against your spell save DC. Unless the saving throw is a success, the creature is encased in a field of magical energy until the end of your next turn, or the creature takes any damage. While encased in this way, the creature is incapacitated and has a speed of 0. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of once. You regain all of them when you finish a long rest. So this is I like this. This is basically
just gotta trap something.
If you want to compare it to something, it's kind of like sleep, although, it doesn't have the hit die that you have to expend. It's just, one creature, boom, you're frozen. Not frozen in time, but kinda.
Just kind of stuck there.
Yeah. I can already think of so many different ways that I would use it, and it would be fun.
Yeah.
The ability you get at level 10 is called Arcane Abeyance. Abeyance? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. When you cast a spell using a slot of 4th or lower, you can condense the spell's magic into a mote. The spell is frozen in time at the moment of casting and held within a gray bead for 1 hour. The bead is a tiny object with AC of 15, 1 hit point. It's immune to poison and psychic damage. When the duration ends or the bead is destroyed, it vanishes in a flash of light and the spell is lost. A creature holding the bead can use its action to release the spell within, whereupon the bead disappears and the spell uses your spell attack bonus and save DC, and the spell treats the creature who released it as the caster for all other purposes. Once you create a bead with this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a short or a long rest. So I really like this. At the start of your day, you cast some buff spells into these beads, hand them out to your people. It's like, hey, before we go into battle, so we're not wasting time, pop this on you. It'll be all right. Or you can be like, all right, barbarian, they're not going to expect this fireball coming from you.
Right. Crazy thing, it's like the ring of spells that I have in my one character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can just store them in there. Now this one they don't stay as long as the ring stuff does, but it's still cool, like you said, to be like, here you go, or take this, and give it around to people.
Yeah, I like that.
At level 14th, you get Convergent Future. You can peer through possible futures and magically pull one of them into events around you, ensuring a particular outcome. When you're a creature you can see within 60 feet of you makes an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can use your reaction to ignore that dice roll and decide whether the number rolled is the minimum needed to succeed or one less than the number that you choose. When you use this feature, you gain 1 level of exhaustion. Only by finishing a long rest can you remove the level of exhaustion gained this way.
Wow. So
that's crazy.
I like that. It's kind of, they don't put a limit on that, but if you use it too much, you get the exhaustion. I think it's 6 levels of exhaustion and you die.
Yeah.
We've really only had that issue one time in any of our games. But man, that's really fun.
You just, ignore that, and then you decide whether the number rolled is minimum needed to succeed. I like how it's, or one less than that number.
Yeah.
You just go, you failed it by 1. Sorry.
Sorry, bud. But still, that's really fun, and I like that it specifies you can only take a rest to get rid of it. You can't just be, all right, restoration, lesser restoration, I think is what it is. And, but
it has to be a long rest. Can't be short.
Yeah. Yep.
Man, that is insane.
Yeah.
And it's level 14. Most of the stuff you sit there and we go, oh, that's ridiculous. You're like, oh, it's 18. It should be ridiculous.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, but it does come at a cost.
Right, yeah. Pretty big one.
Next up is the Graviturgy magic. At 2nd level, you get Adjust Density. As an action, you can magically alter the weight of one object or creature you can see within 30 feet of you. The object or creature must be large or smaller. The target's weight is halved or doubled for up to 1 minute or until your concentration ends, as if you were concentrating on a spell. While the weight of a creature is halved by this effect, the creature's speed increases by 10, and it can jump twice as far as normal. It has disadvantage on saving checks and has disadvantage on strength saving throws and strength checks. While the weight of a creature is doubled by this effect, their speed is reduced by 10, and it has advantage on strength saves and checks. Upon reaching 10th level in the class, you can target an object or creature that is huge or smaller.
Huge.
This is kind of like a poor man's growth spell, if you want to think about it like that. But it's a little bit different. just because it doesn't actually grow them or shrink them. It just reduces their weight. So
Right.
it's really fun. If you're trying to get away, you can just reduce everybody or half their weight so everybody can move faster.
Right. You get a little bit of do a little dash and get a little faster.
Yeah.
At level 6, you get Gravity Well. You learn how to manipulate gravity around a living being. Whenever you cast a spell on a creature, you can move the target 5 feet to an unoccupied space of your choice, if the target is willing to move. This spell hits, the spell hits it with an attack or fails a saving throw against the spell. What?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. That's worded very weird.
Yeah.
We're not quite sure exactly how this ability works. This is one thing we're gonna have to do a little bit more research on.
Yeah.
It's kind of stumped us. I think just because it's kind of worded oddly. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have to do some research onto this one.
Yeah.
And
Maybe in the comments you can tell us there's something we're missing there.
yes, please tell us if we're missing something. At 10th level, you get Violent Attraction. When another creature that you can see within 60 feet of you hits with a weapon attack, you can use your reaction to increase the attack's velocity, causing the attack's target to take an extra 1d10 of the weapon's type.
That's cool.
Alternatively, if a creature within 60 feet of you takes damage from a fall, you can use your reaction to increase the fall's damage by 2d10. You can use this a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum once, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. There's a lot of fun you can do with that. I mean, this whole subclass is built around manipulating gravity. So,
Right.
I mean, these kind of speak for themselves, just how kind of fun that they are. I mean, especially because, your barbarian swinging his great axe, he's already got a d12. Well, you can use your reaction to increase that and add a d10 on top of that. So, just going off die rolls, I mean, that's, 22 damage if you hit max.
Yeah.
So,
We don't even know if he's raging.
Yeah.
No, Tommy's not.
Tommy's not.
The last one we have is Event Horizon, level 14. As an action, you can magically emit a powerful field of gravitational energy that tugs at another creature for up to 1 minute or until your concentration ends. For the duration, whenever a creature hostile to you starts its turn within 30 feet, they must make a strength saving throw against your spell DC. On a failed save, it takes 2d10 force damage, and speed is reduced to 0 until the start of its next turn. On a success, it takes half as much damage, and every foot it moves this turn costs 2 extra feet of movement. So you have to really pay attention to that. Once you use this feat, you can't use it again until a long or short rest, or until you expend a spell slot of 3 or higher.
I like that. Just because, as a wizard, if your DM is thinking, we got to kill the caster first, in the minds of the monsters, which most intelligence monsters, yeah, that's how, they should go. We got to kill him. He's the bad guy. He's the wizard. We got to take him down. This is something that can add an extra layer of protection for you in there. I really like that. I also like that, if you use a spell slot of third or higher, you can redo that. Like, that's not something that we've ever really seen before. It's either long rest or short rest. That's it. But this kind of adds a little extra flair in there, which I think is really cool. Now, with these two subclasses that you get for wizard, they've included a whole bunch of new spells, a lot of which are really, really cool. I haven't read through all of them, and we're not gonna discuss all of them today, just because there's a lot and we're running out of time. But it does give the disclaimer that as a DM, you shouldn't add in these spells for every other wizard subclass or any of the other classes. without some forethought, just because some are a little more powerful, and they're kind of designed to work along with those two subclasses for the wizard.
In this book, there's also different backgrounds that you can check out, some other different kinds of treasures, a couple different pages on those. There's 3 campaigns in here, I believe.
Four, I think.
4? Okay,
Yeah,
excellent.
four adventures that you can drop into your campaign setting.
Good.
And it does
The
say
items,
you're invited
yeah.
to change any aspects of the adventure that would suit your game and your players would enjoy the most. Which goes back to the thing that I talk about the most with D&D. It's your game.
Right,
Change it however you feel. So I like that they include that in there, because I think
right.
some people like to be real rigid and say, yes, the book says this, it has to be this, no other way around it. But, as a DM, it's your job to, take those liberties. So I think it's good that they, bring notice to say that.
They also have some, NPCs in here. Then they have also added some of their own monsters.
Hmm.
I got real excited while I was going through because I saw a Blood Hunter, and there was a Unearthed Arcana where they were like, "Okay, this is going to be a class you can play." They did not make it one. They just
No,
put it inside this book as a character that you could fight. So you can see how they kind of changed that up if you ever looked at the Unearthed Arcana stuff.
yeah. As Mackenzie mentioned, there's some awesome magic items, some cool treasure in there. We're not going to go over those today.
There's a lot.
There's quite a bit. One cool thing um, is the vestiges of divergence that Matt Mercer has made up. Basically, they are magic items that level up with you, but not
Yes,
like you hit level 10, you get this, you hit level 15. It's, whenever your character has had an extremely, like, influential moment in their development, that's when these things become awakened. For a long time as a DM, I've thought, like, how can we make magic items that level up with people? I mean, like, this is one of the best ways that I've ever seen. And I'm probably going to start adopting some of the thoughts that he's done. I know there's a couple items in here that I've looked through that I'm going to use. But like I said, we'll probably go over some of these magic items a little later on after we've had some time to really read through them. So once you're able to, whether you get it from Amazon, whether you pick it up from your local gaming store, we highly recommend you pick up Explorer's Guide to Wildemount. So much awesome content in here that you can throw in your game, that you can use as a player. Matt Mercer and the D&D team really, really did a good job
they
on
did.
this one. So, go to Twitter, tweet those guys, let them know how much you appreciate it. So, this has been our review of the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount. If you like it, let us know about it down in the comments below. If there's anything we mentioned that we may have, mixed up, let us know. Because, I mean, we're not perfect, but, there's so many rules in D&D. There's so many different little things. It's impossible to get all of them right all the time. So just let us know. If you want to see more D&D content from us, hit the subscribe button and ring the little bell. We put out videos every Friday, rain or shine or coronavirus. We're doing it. If you like the video, hit the like button. And until next time, keep the dice rolling.